Hi guys, it is Taurus season, so it seems to be very appropriate to use this Earth Magic deck. So we are going to have that assist us in the readings. So before we just jump into your readings, just to let you know that I still have the promotions, speed up promotion, meaning you get one level up. So you sign up for a regular reading, you get a rush reading, you sign up for rush, you get urgent, and you sign up for urgent, you get it before you finish typing. Not kidding, you get it in 24 hours. So just go on cattarot.ca and find basically where I have this special list is listed under book your reading. Now, second thing I have, annual taroscopes are still discounted, and like it's only $10 for one sign or $20 for all of the signs. So you can check your Venus sign, you can check your ascendant, you can check your sun sign. I generally like to lurk on the other people's Mars signs to see kind of like how that's going to work out. And lastly, I'm taking applications for the next round of Tarot School, which is starting May the 15th. The first group is running, and I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, such a kind of lovely group. So I'm just seeing how this evolves. It's not going to be 10 lessons as I initially thought. It will be 11 minimum. And that's it from my announcement. So guys, hopefully also you're going to join my Facebook or Instagram or both, so you can get a daily reading or kind of like a little bit kind of learn about tarot. And I think this is enough for me. So the next is your May taroscopes. New moon with this lovely picture, and sort of like love this picture because it's very much like your card in tarot about basically lovers sitting enjoying the pleasure, right? Gazing on a new moon and kind of like that beautiful embrace. And we know that new moon also gives a new promise of new things happening. So there's definitely, I can see this like planet Venus enjoyment, right? It's like definitely, it has like Gemini all over this card, right? So it is time to do actually a project. So you see, you might need to kind of reassess what you accomplished so far. Enjoy what you have, but it's definitely advising you not to get stuck, because you're getting this card sort of like thinking too much about the end kind of like goal, not enjoying basically the journey, right? And it's kind of like go for you, right? So that's what I think. You will be renewing something that maybe did put aside for a later date, right? And it's definitely full cycle that is kind of completing, and something that you really wanted to desire is going to really manifest for you. Because also I want to wish happy birthday for those of you who will be actually celebrating end of May, right? 21st is like basically turning into Gemini as well. So keep in mind that here I really feel that you're putting certain things in action, that maybe this is kind of like really positive way of reassessing, because you'll be looking at kind of pros and cons, kind of what is basically the best for me, what is enjoyable, right? But at the same time, are you sure that you're thinking properly? Because you're saying, you know what, I'm not going to do something that I'm really not enjoying, but then why aren't you enjoying the journey, right? Because this card is also called promise, and a promise has two meanings. It definitely can be a commitment and guarantee to yourself or someone else that a particular thing will happen, right? Or it can imply that something specific is expected to happen. When your will is sort of like aligned with that universal forces, right? Then basically we are able to not only go toward this goal, but we're also able to kind of like really realize while we're on this journey, while we are like basically writing this, remember to enjoy where you are, because the journey is actually more important than a goal, sort of, I think. It's one of the big lessons over here. So let's see. You have the Emperor reversed. So that is kind of, again, some issues with stability. Like whenever the Emperor shows up, this is definitely a message: stabilize. You need to stabilize. Something went out of control and now it's needing to be kind of like corralled in, if you wish. And look at here, we have Six of Earth reversed. And I think this could be something in regards to, could be your balance book, could be your checkbook. Maybe you're spending more than you're making. Maybe you're giving more than you're receiving. Maybe you are thinking, well, I'm paying it forward, right? Because this is yet another 6, which kind of is now connecting here. And this is telling me clearly this is like what is out of control. Something along these lines where, you know, somebody's like feasting, or maybe you're seeing others who are just like simply enjoying things and you want to catch up with them, and maybe you can't for some reason. So this is definitely showing that this is kind of need for taking like kind of like bulls by its horns and handle the situation. In the past, you have 5 of Fire, and this is kind of, most readers don't like this card, but I actually do, because I think entire life is about boundaries, and we have problems always about boundaries, right? Whether it's here that, you know, we are giving too much, that give and take is like we give and they take. That's not the idea. Here is like something that we try to establish, you try to establish some kind of boundaries over here. Maybe you did get pushed, maybe you pushed. But in any case, it looks like things really got out of balance, and this is like where the stabilization is really needed. So then, interestingly enough, look at here, you have the Earth Queen reversed. So these two fellows could actually be a couple. So I don't know, are you guys working with some kind of situation where you're not with somebody who basically maybe was a wife, maybe an ex, maybe you're dealing with somebody who is married. This is, again, we are in the Earth period. Remember that your Earth element message is new moon, start something new. But you're kind of like lingering on a person who is for some reason unavailable. If this is, if you think this is you, and this is kind of like you're sort of like trying to become more prudent, because again it's telling me it's something about money, something about your career, kind of like trying to figure out how to get to this next stage. But this is also could be a card that you're really worried about your physical health, that maybe gym time is in order and maybe some action on that and has started, but looks like you kind of really didn't get to the point where you really want to be. So now we have Sky Tom reversed in what is crowning you, like sky and swords. And look at this, chasing the bird. I do this exercise with Safi every night, we are doing this on bed because she likes the soft landing, but she's going to chase her toy bird until she's like basically panting. And doesn't matter if she falls off like bed or anything, she just absolutely has only one focus. So this is like where somebody needs or wants to find information about you, and they don't really do it in the straightforward way. It's more or less done through spying on a social media, drive by a house, checking out people who know you, trying to strike the conversation, sort of like to get the information they need. This could be you, that you are checking over somebody, you know, that, I don't know, could have been in a picture. Wow, and then you have another seven, pardon me, another sky card. You have 7 of sky. Check this out. A kitty cat got distracted for a second. Look at the birds, look at the birds, pretty birds. I hope Safi is not going to start running over here. But look, there is like the mouse saw the bird in hand, sort of like, right? And somebody's just like taking away. And I think this is really talking about something here. Somebody took away your sense of security, and I think this actually does represent you. I think that core stability where you kind of like felt, you know, lovers is your card, you kind of like felt I am in the zone, is kind of like just about to get there, because we just actually did have the new moon, right? So it's kind of, I think about how do I kind of figure out, let me try to zoom this in for you. How do you figure out the best path to follow from this point on, right? How do you really go from here? I told you that somebody's going to show up. I had to cut off a little bit. So, what's up, Shafi? Want to say hi to Gemini? Hi, pretty girl? Hi, Aqua girl? Are you good? Look, they're playing with the birds. With the birds. Do you like birds? Yes. So Safi is such a lucky charm for you, Gemini. So this 7 of sky is, I'm wondering like really if this is some kind of aha moment, some kind of resolution that you simply want to reach to some kind of ending. This also could talk about understanding of a situation. You are an air sign. So these cards are really kind of like the cards that will be like your best tools to move forward, right? So if you're a race driver, your best fit is in a race car, right? And you really know everything is like sort of like a muscle extension of you, right? You kind of like probably wouldn't be good in, let's say, buoyant kind of stuff or swimmer, where, you know, like emotionally have to resolve something, but you're really doing things intellectually, trying to kind of figure out, okay, what is the best for me and how do I ground this? So let's see your feelings. There I go. We have another earth, but it's kitten this time. Some of you may have, again, this is something young and something new, but it's like something that is moving so slow that probably snail would be really a marathon runner comparable to it. So something is grounding, but maybe not with the speed that you would want, because I can see you want things fast, 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 but you're air sign. But it's kind of hard to move it fast when you're sitting on your furry behind, right? Or enjoying the sunset, or really kind of like not really realizing that the point of a journey is kind of realization of all these little stops along the way. So let's see the environment. In the environment, you have 2 of earths. Boy, how much earth you have. So obviously we are in this earth season, and it's obviously emphasizing this for you as well. So the 2 of earth could talk about somebody really trying to strike a fine balance. Maybe somebody's balance, maybe somebody's doing the juggling act. Maybe this is why you kind of like are doing this spy kind of a thing. And maybe this is why you're kind of like feeling maybe a little bit betrayed, sort of a thing. Hopes and Fears, the Floating Cat. I love this card because this card to me is a card of maturity. This card is saying, look, not everything is basically straightforward the way we want things in life to be. Sometimes we really need to simply subject ourselves to realization of how others see the same issues, see it from basically their point of view, see it how, you know, would it be like if we have to bend ourselves to make things workable, sort of like, you know, that question, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? This generally I see when it really comes to relationships, because relationships are hard, and especially if you kind of like feel imbalance over here, and there could be imbalance of power over here, where it's actually even worse because it's not like the black and white, oh, you know, like, I mean, she's doing this to me or he's doing that to me, because you actually are feeling powerful, you are feeling content, but there is like that underlying thing, you know, like sort of like you order your drink and the lime is missing. It's maybe not a big deal, but like sort of like this is like what you expected and you just like cannot get it where you had. I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm a little bit OCD because I would not be able to move on with that without that lime. Wow, you're getting this star. So some kind of healing had to happen. It looks like, oh my gosh, I think you're kind of like doing some kind of master plan. And being an air sign, your sister air sign, it is talking about basically opening up, kind of like spreading your wings and fly, healing wherever needs to be healed. It is going to be a lot of mental activity in this kind of like period, a lot of kind of like turning over any kind of like stones that we have around. You might actually start moving forward really, really slow, but let me check. Why is that? The star card, oh my gosh, hope and feeling everything is right. So you're going to sort things out, you know, finding this like a magic kind of like number that opens the doors. You got it. So let me see this, what do you call it? This one also wants to talk. The wheel, that's karmic card. It's reversed. Maybe you're getting out of the situation where things were sort of like not really spinning in the right direction. So why is this earth kitten here for Gemini? Why is this earth kitten there for Gemini? We have wife and pleasure seekers. So again, remember how I said this could be wives. So this could be a few things. One, that you have that duality. You are Gemini after all. Do I really want to kind of like go my crazy way, enjoy and party? Do I really want to settle down? Or, you know, like, do I need to commit more to my family? Or how much time do I have to go out? And ultimately that can mean that you are not in balance. Remember what I was telling you about is balance and being out of whack. And I think maybe you're leaning heavier on one side or the other. And hence you feel that you were going upstairs and downstairs at the same time and freaking out over this. And I think this is why this is showing as barely moving. So you have to figure it out what you want, and this is where you're getting this through floating cat or the hangman, right? I'm gonna see there's like 7 of sky as well, what this tells me. Yeah, it's absolutely the end of something painful, of some kind of expectations. It could have been somebody who became distant, who can literally be distant, who basically did. So see, she also has the letter over here in her hand, and it could be literally that you're reaching some kind of closure and some kind of understanding without actual communication. You know, it's kind of like a weird thing. We suffer for years, and then one day we wake up as if just like it's a new leaf. It's not like that you get, you know, when they said you're going to get better. No, it is like on or off. And here it's like saying like there is like still some level, maybe not so much the person. I actually just see that you need to work on yourself, you're quite happy. But maybe this is the point. You guys said, and please give me this in comments, because I really want to know this. Because both Aquarius and the floating cat in laziness are sort of like solo people, pleasure seekers. Well, not necessarily bad, because this card can give you good or bad. In this case, it's good. But this one is a married person who either wants to be married, who wants to stabilize something, and then we have the wife just right next to it. So maybe certain things you're hoping to turn around. Maybe there was like a slight bit of kind of like argument in a relationship. Maybe that was like positioning that was like needed to happen. Maybe it was like a down luck stroke, but it looks like you're coming back on horse, and in a big way. So given that you have all these air signs, you really have to figure it out, that you need to get it in your own head first what you want to do. And once when this clicks, the reasons why you're doing this, that you intellectually explain to yourself why you're doing this. Because you see, this what I'm telling you now, if I'm talking to a water sign, they will go, Kat, what is wrong with you, right? Because they don't approach things that way. They're kind of like feeling that gut, and in their gut they go, this is like gnawing feeling about this. No, I should be doing this. They are more patient. They're more than willing to sit and wait. They don't speak like you, like 2,000 words a minute. You're the only person who can outtalk Aquarius or Aries. So good for you. But you also kind of like have this ability to even talk to yourself, to kind of like expand the ideas and come back, but not like a crazy person. Like, right? I always said that I'm my best company, so why not talking to myself? But this is going to be something really this month that you're realizing you had too much of all work no play. It was some kind of imbalance in your life which you're addressing. And you're addressing this in a way that it might feel initially a little bit of destabilizing, but it's going to kind of like, I think, add a new layer in your development. And then getting the star, it's like awesome. You're kind of like moving in a completely new direction. So my dear Gemini, enjoy your May, and please give me your comments, share and like and subscribe. And if you want your reading, check me out on www.cattarot.ca. Love you. Bye.